On this episode of the Rebrand Review, we're talking about New York and one of their most famous lager brands. Normally we make a really clever pun, I like it. Glen hates it.
Yeah.
This time we haven't got one.
No.
I'm Tony Hardy, founder and director of Canny Creative.
I'm Glen creative director here at Canny.
And today we're talking about Brooklyn's finest. It's Brooklyn Brewery. They make my favourite lager drink. But the logos, I've always looked at it and just went, yeah, alright,
Yeah.
like, it's cool. I didn't realise it was a logo by Milton Glaser, who also designed I Love New York, I Heart New York, however you want to say it. He also designed that. Brooklyn Brewery recently tasked Robot Food in Leeds with tidying that whole thing up.
Yeah.
And over to you.
Yeah, it is a really, really nice job. It's one of those odd ones where now that you look at the new version, you didn't really know they needed to tidy up the old version. But once they've tidied it up, you can see where them like sort of glaring, not mistakes, but like intricacies that you could tidy up. I don't want to say mistakes, but yeah, that you could tidy up, and they've just done a really, really nice job of just sort of setting the typeface properly, just obviously taking away them unnecessary borders, bringing them circles that tend to be on the like sort of down, even though we think they should become further down in size again. But it's just a really good job of tidying the logo.
It is, and the thing is when you're working with like a historical designer's work like Milton Glaser's, you don't just undo or erase that work. You have to pay homage, you have to pay tribute to the work. You can't just kind of delete it and start again.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic in that regard. But this project's a bit of an odd one because Robot Food have done the logo tidy up and the brand tidy up, and then they've also worked on the main product range. But then first in Glasgow, they've been tasked with bringing out Brooklyn's Pilsner. So there's kind of like two projects here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Robot Food's work first.
Yeah. So I mean, when you look at these visuals, and obviously we've talked about the logo, but as you pass it through the rest of the like sort of product line, the one thing that screams to me is like, you go into the Tesco's, you go to any supermarket now, you go in that craft ales or craft beer aisle, and it is just full of colour.
It's like living in a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, there is illustrations here, colour there. It's very hard to stand out, and it's an odd one where actually you probably stand out more by making a probably more plain, simple design.
And I don't dislike the work that Robot Food have done. I think Robot Food are one of my favourite agencies. Yeah. But it just feels like it fits in with the rest of the beer aisle, and I think that's probably a concern. Like, I don't think it would stand out among the other IPAs and the other types of lagers.
And considering you've not took a conservative step, but you've not totally changed the brand logo yourself, but you've made it available to like actually then apply to loads of different things. They could have really went for it here and did something totally different.
Indeed they could have, and that's kind of what Thirst up in Glasgow have done. So their task was to bring to life Brooklyn Brewery's new Pilsner, and they've brought it to life. You can see the simplification of the logo is now being utilised to its fullest in their rebrand. So like, you talk us through that because
I really like this. Obviously they've got that graffiti style that's really like sort of synonymous with Brooklyn and Brooklyn itself, not even just New York, but Brooklyn. Yeah. And they've got these little illustrations that like come across, but they're never like so abrasive that they're just the only thing you see. The logo's there, the colour, obviously they've used this as like a sort of taxi cab yellow. And I think it's just really, really nice. And then you just tie that with the logo and the simplification of the logo.
It almost hangs. Like, it does just hang. And like, for me, it's definitely got more on-shelf recognition. Like, it's yellow, taxi cab yellow, but it's not multicolored, it's not like a sensory overload. It definitely stands out. I'm going to take a walk down the supermarket aisle later just to see if it really does stand out. But I have a strong suspicion that the bright yellow, the black will grab you, whereas everything else that Robot Food had done is a bit of a blend of colours, which is difficult to work with. So the logo has been tidied up, it works, it pays respect to the original brand. There's nothing to dislike about it. It is a good job. Yeah.
I mean, the type, even through both of them, it doesn't feel like it's a big part of the rebrand or the branding. It's sort of been made into all caps, into bold. It's going to grab attention, but it's sort of neither here or there with the project. It's just there. It's nice.
The rest of the design work seems a lot more important than the typography. And the colour, it's just like it blends in on one side of things, and then on the other brand project, it works really beautifully. Yeah. So I can see why it's been done. I can see how it's been done and what the requirement was. It's just the two different approaches are stark in contrast. Like it's really interesting. Overall concept for me, it's just right down the middle. It's a 3. They needed to tidy up. They needed to release the Pilsner. They needed it to all run through their other range. There's not a bigger concept at play here. Yeah.
The visuals, we've given it a 3. The idea is I would have gave this a 4 for the Pilsner application, but it's sort of been brought back down by the idea that all the other packaging just will blend in that beer, right?
The logo, straight up 4. It's a lovely tidy up of Milton Glazer's work.
Again, type straight down the middle. It's neither here or there in terms of it's not a huge part of the project. It's just probably been made better, but flying under the radar. So that's a 3.
And the colour, unfortunately, I'm giving this a 2. I think for me, those colours all blending in actually hurts my eyes at times. It's like, it's hip and it's cool, but I've seen it before. My eyes are older now. It's okay. A 2 for the colour. In total, that's a 3 for Brooklyn Brewery. It's a solid score. The rebrand is solid and it looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing it on the shelves and again picking up one of the new cans. That's been it. That's been Rebrand Review. Remember, like, comment, subscribe below, and we'll see you next time.